And welcome to Live with Rex, episode 190. And in today's stream, today it's just it's the early hours of the morning. I'm trying to time my coat up and doing very bad at this. See? But, yeah, I don't know how well this will do again. These ones sometimes do well when they're done this early. It's a bit of a 50-50 kind of thing on that one. But, yeah. Oh, hello! But, with the time that I get in from work, it kind of just has to make sense that they're done at this time. There isn't that much of a decent workaround that I can do. Fix my hair because I'm an absolute mess. So, yeah, I got to look semi-presentable on these streams, but we're going to be continuing on from where we have been. We have been getting a lot done. I think we're just going to chill in this stream and do the bag of minifigures that we didn't do yesterday. But, yeah. I should also stress that this will not be a long stream, given the time of night that it's being done at. But if this means I can get back to almost daily streams again, or even if it's one every 2 days, then you know what? I'm just going to have to do the solution that seems to work. It's just going to have to go that way. Give me one. I'm just putting some things back that I was using earlier today. But yeah, that's kind of where we're going to have to go with these streams. It's just picking the times. Like, I've not been able to get shorts out, and unfortunately, I've not been able to film episodes of Collecting the Complete Saga. But so what makes that worse? They're actually already being filmed. They're all ready to go. Well, not all, but like, there's a good amount of those that have already been pre-recorded and pre-filmed that I just haven't edited. So the only reason those haven't been going out is me forgetfully not editing them. Is this like one of the you were telling me about this? It's like some of the really retro stuff as well. I'm going to turn the camera on the shelf, so I'm going to get the bag that we're going to be working from with the minifigures. So this is said bag. We got some interesting stuff in there. You can see the 2005 Sheik Scouts Awards and quite a lot of clone troopers in this one. But we're going to be working from this bag, adding stuff from it to the shelf. In fact, I'll give you a close-up of the bag. So, we've got some interesting stuff. We've got some Anakin, some Shock Troopers, Gamorrean Guard. I think that's Belloc from Indiana Jones. We've got Back to Tank Luke in there. Who else have we got in there? Oh, we've got the Wampa. He's in there. C-3PO. Commander Gree, a Wookiee warrior. I think that's Qui-Gon Jinn there. Got the Cadu. So we're going to go through this. We've got General Lando. And we've got R3PO. So to anyone watching who's not aware, this is not a haul video. I'm simply just been rearranging shelving, and I bagged up a big bunch of the minifigures. We did put a lot of the minifigures back on the shelving already, but we're going to be going through that bag in this stream and just re-adding them. And I'll show you some of the cool ones as we add them. So let's get this opened up. Right now, in regards to sets, I've been putting money into projects that aren't Lego or YouTube right now. But the only two sets I have in my backlog are these two battle packs that are sealed from 2010. And if I'm going to be completely honest, I have not yet convinced myself to open those. It's a nice little time capsule from my childhood, is the way I looked at that, and it's difficult for me to open it. First minifigure we're adding, Star Killer. Star Killer is going to go up here with the Imperial stuff. I've not yet decided if there should be another set here. In fact, until I decide to fill that gap with something else, I think the TIE Bomber should just sit there. Yeah, so we've got Star Killer. He's going to be going up there. That was a £5 custom Star Killer. I'll show it off to you. So this was, believe it or not, like $4.99. It's a custom. I do want to buy the official one from 2008. It is an eventual figure. But knowing me, I'll end up going in one of those many cases. So that could be a thing that happens. Like I said, I'll show you some of the cooler ones that we're putting back on my shelf. It's just a Rebel Pilot variant. He'll be going in the Home 1 to kind of fill out that scene from Return of the Jedi. Again, another minifigure from there, 9 Nub that we got. Well, that minifigure not too long ago. What else we got? We've got just another Hoth Rebel. So the Hoth Rebels, I'm not putting a too big emphasis on my Hoth display, but there will be some stuff as a part of it. We got just a standard Stormtrooper. So some minifigures like Stormtroopers will just go up there. I've pushed back the Imperial Shelf-Standard Stormtroopers, aligned it up, because also this is the Return of the Jedi shelf. I'll show you what I'm on about. And because I've got the Imperial shuttle here, it will be a bit like the Vader scene where he comes out of it in Return of the Jedi. Is how we're going to set up that part of the display. People who are new to the fandom do often forget about Starkiller being Vader's apprentice, purely because Disney have never done anything with the character whatsoever, apart from name that planet killer, planet weapon from The Force Awakens. That was called Starkiller. But it's one of those, like, I view Starkiller as a victim of the Disney era stuff. It is an absolute shame what they did with that. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to have the Stormtroopers. I'll probably go with the printed leg variants and just have Vader and an Imperial officer there in front of it. If anyone's just joining, I'm adding some of my minifigures back to the shelf. I took all of them off and bagged them up while I was rearranging things, so we're just adding them back to the shelf. So yeah, let's continue. What do we got? Han Solo from 2011 from the Falcon. So we're not going to go too much in on him. He's a cool figure, but he's not like anything crazy. Just a minifigure that I happen to have a lot of nostalgia for. This here's custom made. So this is a Sand Blue Super Battle Droid. Now, I have an official one, right? My official one's up on my Complete Saga stand. By the way, if you're new here, I do a series on here, and featuring both real and custom minifigures, collecting the entirety of the Complete Saga to be as accurate as possible. So my official one from 02 is up there. Very funny. So this one's custom. The reason you can tell it's custom is it's got a rocket arm in Sand Blue. We never got rocket arm battle droids in Sand Blue. Those were only in the dark pearl grey colour. I got this from a custom manufacturer called Brick Rebellion as part of his Black Friday deal. He was throwing these in for free. This minifigure we'll put that on the Attack of the Clones display, because that's technically the original figure comes from that. We got, who else we adding? Standard R2-D2 from that era. It's just your it's the one without, like, before they started printing them. We've got a 212 Trooper here from 2014. That's a Revenge of the Sith thing there, so that's going to go in with that stuff. I'll put him there next to the other minifigures that I've got quite a few of the kind of 2014 era minifigures there to add. We got Mon Cala Officer. He'll just be going on the Home 1 set. Just going to be going there. In fact, I won't put him in the hangar because you do see some of these guys, more of these guys in on that scene with Akbar. I'd rather that be the populated bit. Battle damaged Anakin from, or technically Darth Vader from 2010, so he'll be going there. I do have like all three versions of battle damaged Anakin: 2005, 10, and 17. Got the more modern Jango Fett. I think that's the one from the cheaper Enslave one from last year. He'll just be going down here next to the set. I have the one from 2002 down there as well. Another one add to the whole one. So maybe Return of the Jedi. This is not all the figures to go on the shelf. There's some more in that box. But that'll be other streams. Yeah, that's alright, man. We've got Mon Mothma. So she's also from that Return of the Jedi scene. So she'll be going in there. The Home 1, right? The white kind of briefing room section is all my favourite builds LEGO has ever done. Just because it looks... Yeah, it's cool, man. I'm not going to be streaming for too long, but you can always watch the stream afterwards. that scene specifically, it just, you can use that for so much, it feels like. It's one of the more versatile sets. And, you know, it being a set from 2009, just that era of LEGO Star, I caused the minifigure default. That era of LEGO Star Wars, the late 2000s, early 2010s, is just, for me, it's a very goated era as a collector. Right. That's Rennie Belloc from Lego Indiana Jones. I don't actually know why I've got him in this bag. We've got a Royal Guard, so the Royal Guard will be going up here. So I'll probably have a Palpatine up. One of my Palpatine variants will be up here. And it's a nice Empire shelf we've got going up there. We've got just a Rebel Astromech. That can just go in there. Let's have a drink. We'll keep going. But yeah, like I said, the room tour, I'm still aiming for that original date. Though I'll kind of think more think about it, the more I think that might not be doable anymore. See, I aim to have the room tour video out between the 20th and the 25th. And to be completely honest, I think I'm just going to have to move it to August at this point. Oh, here's a cool one. Empire Strikes Back, Admiral Piet. I could put him up with the Star Destroyer, but do I? Am I going to put him with the Star Destroyer? I'm actually going to have him on the Empire Strikes Back shelf in the area where the bounty hunters are for Cloud City. I'll just have the hologram Vader next. I was like, I could have them up with the ship up there. But Admiral Piet is a really cool minifigure. I'd rather have him down there. 2007 Shock Trooper. I have quite a few of the Shock Troopers from that era. But, like I said, all the preparation that I am putting into this room tour thing will be worth it. 2012 Nute Gunray. He'll make a really cool he'll make a fine addition to my Revenge of the Sith shelf. Got that's a generic Astromech. Put it there. It's one of the this is Vice. It was Admiral Sloan. She's that one that you get in the TIE bomber from 2023. She's just gonna go up there. This Stormtrooper will be going. I think I'll put this one in with the Battle of Endor, since you do technically see those there. Here's our cool minifigure. It's even better because I've got two of these guys in my army. 2005 Kashyyyk clone. So those guys are going there. It's got a generic Imperial officer here. Some of those figures are a bit more generic, kind of Imperial officers that aren't from anything specific can go up that top bit, just so there's still Imperial stuff there. Put one of those Stormtroopers in A New Hope. This is one of the many Hoth General minifigures, so he... You can go there. Got Imperial Astromech R2-Q2, which is a pretty cool one. That minifigure can just go up here. Got a few minifigures going along the front of that would be cool. Just sort of some Imperials. We've got C-3PO here. Just put this one in with the Battle of Hoth stuff. Sorted. Qui-Gon on the need to find his lightsaber blade. It will be in here with other stuff. We've got another Royal Guard. Now, the two that I put up here are the red hand variants. This one is the black hand variant. So I think these ones, I will put either side the Imperial shuttle. I know Royal Guards aren't in the scene where Vader arrives on the Death Star, but screw it, I'm making it work. One moment, I am making adjustments to the Battle of Endor. There we go. Got another one of those Royal Guards. I mean, the Royal Guards are iconic to Return of the Jedi, so that just does make sense. I have not read them or looked at them yet. I do need to have a look at what they're releasing for that. Because, of course, you know me, I'm going to want to get in on it when it comes out. I'll be honest, I've just not had the time to look at what they're releasing. But whatever it is, hopefully it's better than some of the stuff they have been doing. My guess, if I was to make an educated guess, it'll be like 90% stuff from A New Hope. Like, for the 50th anniversary of Star Wars, right? Normally, I'm not big on them prior. Like, see, when it comes to the anniversaries and stuff, I get that they'll sometimes prioritize that over everything else. And normally I'm not a big fan of that. Like, a little bit of a diverse lineup for the anniversaries. But as far as this goes, right? I want them to solely focus on episode 4 for the 50th anniversary. And make something cool from that. But now that you've mentioned it, I'll probably have to have a go look at what you're saying after the stream to see what kind of stuff they're releasing, because you've kind of now got me interested to look at it. Here's a cool minifigure we're going to throw on. One of my favourites from back when I was a kid, the Tauntaun. Star Wars, see, that I would be up for. By the way, I'm going to take the camera and show you guys where we're at on the shelving. Check this. So, we got the little Imperial bit that we're setting up here. We've got the Royal Guards that we're throwing down there. Behind Cloud City, I've got the Wampa there. I've kind of got like the Hoth stuff going. It's like a collage of a whole bunch of the stuff from Empire Strikes Back is the route we're going. Like, yeah, I know that Admiral Piet should be up with his Super Star Destroyer, which is up there. That's fair enough. But I've opted to kind of make these shells a collage of things from the movie. Like, we've got Battle of Endor, mix of everything here. Like, granted, this is also part space saving technique. But I'm going to have Vader with the hologram there. I've got the Bounty Hunters, and I'll just have some of this stuff going along this way. I think that'll look cool. Like, the original trilogy will be the more packed part of my shelving. But that is just because when it comes to Star Wars, I'm mostly an OT fan. Like, I like the prequels and love the Clone Wars, but the original trilogy has always been where it's at. A minifigure I'm going to put to the side for now, because I don't know where we're putting it, is the Snow Chewbacca. We got Jar Jar Binks, who I decided wasn't dangerous enough. I'm aware that it's called a Wampa. I felt that Jar Jar needed a samurai sword, okay? This was a choice that I made. Well, apparently stepping on that made that happen. That's not great. I don't know, I just felt like Jar Jar, I'd done this years ago and I've decided to keep it going. Jar Jar Binks wasn't dangerous enough. I felt a samurai sword would complete what they were going for in the movie. You may feel inclined to disagree, but I just personally feel he was lacking in samurai swords. Did I call it a Tauntaun? I am tired. To be fair, I've been up for like since 6 a.m. yesterday. I was working all day. I do know that this is a Tauntaun. I do need to add that to my shelf somehow. Do I have one on this shelf already? I kinda do. Put that one there in the Echo base. So let's see what else we got. And you later on. All right, we've got one of these. We got some 2005 Clone Trooper stuff going on. Right, we got some 327 Clone Troopers. We got Luke Skywalker from Return of the Jedi with both flesh hands, so that's the Desert Skiff version specifically. Add him there. We've got one of my favorite minifigures. We were discussing this last stream with terms of Obi-Wans. Padawan Obi-Wan from 2012. One of my favorite and probably one of the most nostalgic minifigures I've got in my collection. But then again, like 2012 as a whole is one of those years with Lego Star Wars where I look at it and go, perfect. Very nostalgic year. I still look at those sets from that year and think to myself, Joe, that's quite modern. 2012 is closer to being 15 years ago than it is like recent, which is crazy. And that piece is falling off back here. I will give you guys a good looking over of the shelves before we conclude for the night. But I've made it all kind of blend together. The Empire Strikes Back shelf might be my favourite one so far. The way I've set that with Cloud City, Hoth, Dagover. I feel like I've got the kind of the right bits for that. Where they should be. I really do like how that's turned out, actually. I don't know why that was on the floor. Right, security battle droid. We'll throw that in here with Phantom Menace stuff. And you put your helmet back on you. Got a Stormtrooper with the classic blasters. I'll put one of them in Cloud City, operating a control panel. Got an A-Wing pilot. You can go in the home one. Sorted. What else we got here? We got Palpatine. See, this is one of my favourite figures, and again, another one that's quite nostalgic. Palpatine from 2008 with the big yellow eyes. I know it's a figure most people don't seem to like, but it's one of those ones I weirdly like. I'll put that Palpatine there for now. Got an Imperial protocol droid there. He can go up next to the Star Destroyer. Here's a really cool minifigure. I wonder how long it'll take to make this. Well, at least it gives you something to do. That's like the one positive whenever Lego breaks unexpectedly. General Madine Crix. That is a cool minifigure just to have it random. Purely because, you know, random named in Rebel Officer. There isn't a whole bunch of those in Lego Star Wars, which makes it even cooler. Got Commander Gree. He'll just go down here, of course, in Revenge of the Sith. Problem solved. I need to put a helmet back on you. There we go. Got another Shock Trooper. Like I said, I own a lot of Shock Troopers from that era, so there'll be a lot of them on the shelf. IG-88. Apart from Boba Fett, the main group of bounty hunters is there next to Cloud City, so I just need to get a hold of a Boba Fett. Now, I am looking at buying maybe a minifigure or two. I've kind of been slowing my collecting down a bit lately, purely because it is getting out of hand. That you're only seeing some of my collection, by the way. The rest of it's over there. And this is just the bits that I keep out. Of course, the shelf you're sitting on has a lot more. So, yeah. I've mostly been buying the custom minifigures for the projects for Lego Batman and the Complete Saga. But in terms of like minifigures I want to pick up before I film the room tour video, I'm wanting a Boba Fett that's the same era as those bounty hunters. So, preferably the 2010 or the 2012 one. I'd be happy with either. There's another cool version of Obi-Wan, but weirdly he is missing the braid that's meant to be printed on him. Obi-Wan, Episode 1 Obi-Wan from 2011. That's the Pod Racers version. The one issue I will have with the Episode 1 shelf, it's so low to the ground. What Vader is this? This is non-pupil Vader, so it can go up here because, yeah. So that would be the 2008 Death Star version. This is just a random Rebel Commando. Yeah, the one issue of my Episode 1 shelf is it's so low to the ground that if you walk around it, the vibrations can cause minifigures to fall. It is an unfortunate problem with that I do need to deal with. We've got a free, like, I might just have to go buy, like, you know, the old school, I don't know if they still use them, maybe they do. I've not bought one in like 5 years, but the CMF stands, might try and use those to mitigate that. Got a clone trooper there. Got a medical droid. So this medical droid is the Revenge of the Sith one. So he'll go over here next to Palpatine's shuttle. This is looking good so far. Like, considering I've been out working all day, we're making good progress on the stream. We got Lama Su, the Prime Minister of Camino there. One of those 2013 clone troopers. I've got a couple of those there. It's a really underrated clone trooper design. It's one of those ones that I probably should get more of in my army. But again, I've not been army building anywhere near as much as I used to. I think I got a bit burned out from doing the army building, so that's why I just went back to like regular collecting for the most part. It's another Indiana Jones figure. We're not going to deal with those right now. Episode 2, Obi-Wan. Got another Kashyyyk clone for Revenge of the Sith. And I've not... Being fair, I went most of the stream about knocking something over in a silly way, so I'm happy. There we go, fixed. Alright, who else we got? We got a Wookiee warrior. Put him there. One of these many kind of thug pirate type characters. I'll put him on the sail barge. Got a generic Hoth look. Let's put him in Hoth. Got another 327 Star Corps clone trooper. Got a. This is an Anakin that I modified. So I took away his hair, added a cape and a hood. There is a cape version like this from 2012, but this is a standard one that didn't have either. So now he's like murderer Anakin with the yellow eyes from when he's, killing the separatists on Mustafar. I've now got that on the shelf. I do like the way my free prequel shelves look, but I like the episode 4 one as well. But these two here are just, apart from when I do that, I hit the hook. See, you can record that, and that can be a blooper. That's actually quite funny. Yeah, these things happen. Oh, wait, yeah, this is a two-piece design. Right, okay. Got to catch out people who are this stupid like myself. You are not just missing a windshield, you're missing the whole thing now. Yay. In fairness, this is a fragile build from 2005. It tends to be a bit unstable, even at the best of times. There we go, I found the piece. This is part of the Death Star 2 scenery from Imperial Inspection. I keep it up here in the Return of the Jedi. Again, yes, it's having to blend, it's forced to blend in with, Return of the Jedi, Jabba's Palace, but I feel like I make it work. I do need to get some, I've been meaning to get some parts from that piece of Imperial Inspection. Because like 1 or 2 pieces were missing when I bought it. And it's been like nearly 2 years and I've just not actually went and fixed that problem. It's ridiculous. See, that's kind of been my view. I've not been buying that many sets, but that's because almost none of the sets, I don't think any of the sets that have come out this year have actually interested me. The only Lego Star Wars set I bought for this year was the Battle Pack, and that's because I needed it for a series. Not because I liked the build or the minifigures, but I wanted it to complete a collection that I was doing. That was quite literally it. It was the only reason I went out and done that. The only other set that I have bought that came out this year was the DeLorean, the small one. Other than that, I have not. I'm looking around to make sure I'm correct on what I'm saying. Yeah. Other than that, not bought a single current set. They all just look bad to me. And obviously, this is the big gear of the crap smart brick system. So that's also kind of played a part in that. I'll be right back. I'm getting a drink. Hello. See, I like 18 plus sets, but even those have not been good lately. Oh. And they discontinued my favorite part of 18 plus. I was a fat, even though I've not got any of them now because I sold the only one I bought to pay for something else. I wish that dioramas had continued. I thought the diorama line was actually pretty good, and it annoys the hell out of me that didn't go any further. Like, we got one. See, we could have got some iconic prequel moments that Lego weren't willing to give us full sets as dioramas, and instead of doing that, which would have been ideal, they just chose to kill it completely. So the only prequel one we ever got was the pod race, which I hate to tell Lego this. They've done the pod race quite a few times. In fact, one of the first Lego Star Wars sets was of the pod race scene. So it's not like we've never had that specific scene done already. Yeah, I'll need to fix you later on. R2D2. Might avoid adding R2 minifigures to it for now. Battle Droid. Personally, this year, the only set... I've not bought that many sets this year, like, in comparison. Keep in mind, last year in 2025, right, I bought a second gunship. I bought a V-19 Torrent. I bought the Solar Sailor. I bought the HH-87 Starhopper. I bought the Sith Night Speeder. I bought the Grievous Starfighter. I bought the 2012 Geonosis Cannon. I bought 3 Slave 1s, all 3 Jango Fett Slave 1s last year. I bought the Haunted Mansion from Lego Monster Fighters. I bought the 2007 UCS Falcon. I bought the 2006 Star Destroyer. I bought the 2011 Super Star Destroyer. I bought the UCS Jango Fett Slave 1. I bought the Hoth Echo Base. I bought the Battle of Hoth. I bought the Tantive. I bought the Mos Eisley Cantina. I bought one of the TIE Fighters last year. I bought the Geonosis Starfighter from 2003. And I also bought the Pod Racers. That's off the top of my head what I recall buying last year. This year, I bought the 2 battle packs from 2010. I bought the Land Speeder, the DeLorean, the battle pack, the AT-AP, and Anakin Starfighter. That's it. that is as much as the sets I bought. Granted, like I said, most of my money has went to the custom stuff this year, but I've toned it down this year in comparison to what I have bought in previous years. There's a few reasons why I felt the need to do that. First of all, it was getting expensive, like how much stuff I was actually going out and buying. And second, I'd rather save up for something really cool that I don't have than just buy a Lego set right now. Plus, if I'm being completely honest, right, I've had more fun just buying some rare minifigures this year than buying sets. Not to mention, last year I was buying sets so frequently that I kept having to change my displays to hold what the hell I was buying because it just stopped working. Like, as in, I was getting that much Lego stuff that if you watched any of my content I made last year, like unboxings, or if you watched the TikTok stuff I was doing, it got out of hand really quickly. Like, ridiculously out of hand quick. Right, we'll do a couple more minifigures and we'll call it a night. So I am tired. Right, Qui-Gon Jinn from 2012, we'll add him to that. We got has Jack Porkins astromech. Put that there. Right. We'll do 5 more minifigures, then we're going to call it a night, okay? We got Back to Tank Luke. So we'll put him, of course, in that part of Echo Base. You need a helmet to go back on. We've got a Death Star Trooper. See, the one thing I wanted the most as a diorama never happened. I know I have the set here from 2012, but boy, I really wanted them to do a diorama of Jabba's throne room. That was the one. That was the thing I wanted the most, and we goddamn never got it. Right, we'll do 3. We've got 3 more to do. We've got Grand Moff Tarkin. We'll just put him there. We'll put him there. We'll have Captain Antilles from 09. We'll put him in there. And the last minifigure that we are going to add tonight to the display will be. I'm looking at all the ones we've got here. Who will be the last one of the night? So many interesting ones that we could use. One second, let me find a part of this minifigure that's popped off because I really want this to be the last one. It'll be in this bag. It's real enough, I've never seen this piece pop off the minifigure like that easily. This must have a ride in there. We got Snowman R2 from the 2012 Advent Calendar. That'll be the minifigure we end tonight with. But I'll quickly show you the shelves after I pack up these minifigures that we didn't do. We didn't get through the whole bag, but I didn't expect to. And guess what? You got an almost extra 10 minutes of stream that I wasn't planning on giving you. But the diorama that I wanted, there's 2 dioramas I really wanted them to make. I wanted the Jedi Council chambers, right? I wanted that scene, even if it was just half of the room, I would have been happy. Because that's never been done in Lego whatsoever. And I wanted them to do Jabba's throne room. The big curved bit with Jabba, the throne room. Maybe even the Han and Carbonite. It'd been another way to get some of the minifigures that they threw in with this UCS sale barge for people who couldn't afford that. And we could have got some in, because Jabba's palace has some of, like, see, as far as the alien design in Star Wars, Return of the Jedi, those scenes has some of the most interesting ones that they did. And it annoys the hell out of me that because of the controversy the 2012 set caused, we're not likely to get many or any of those minifigures. Now, yes, there is a custom market for all that stuff. It'd be kind of cool to get the official Lego versions. But with all the nonsense that happened previously, it has shut the door on getting a lot of cool stuff we could have gotten. Like, I'm happy we got the ones we got, because minifigures like Ula would never be able, like, look at that. That would not be allowed to exist now, I think. But again, 2012, in terms of what was acceptable, completely different time. But I want to show you where the shelves are at. But yeah, this scene as a diorama would have been perfect. We've got a lot done. These original trilogy shelves are looking brilliant, by the way. I think Empire might be my favorite one. Just the way I've kind of made it just all blend together, all the different scenes that I could get in. And of course, we're not even done. So, see, that's why I like the idea of Return of the Jedi. Like, I have done my best to kind of get a version of this going. Using the official set, of course, of the Rancor pit and stuff. But, like, honestly, the best way for me to fill that out is eventually, if I ever have the space again, right? Or, you know, the budget, I would like to do a mock building series. And the place that I would choose to build as a weekly mock series would probably be Jabba's Palace. So, the only way I could fill it out with accurate aliens is as a website, and I've bought minifigures from them before. In fact, this website is where I got the Kit Fisto and the Count Dooku for this series. It's a place called Ingeniero Customs. It's a US website. I think it's based in Florida. I could be wrong about that. And they have taken almost every single alien that you see, or character rather, in the Return of the Jedi scenes in the palace and made them. Because Lego's not going to want to do something like this again, or at least they don't plan to. It's a shame, because there's cool minifigures like EV9D9 that we don't have a remake of. But yeah, depending on what time I get up and sort it out and stuff like that, I may do a quick one before work. But if not, similar time tomorrow night. Hopefully maybe earlier. I got held back at work and stuff. But see you in the next one.